When you're creating a new Facebook advertising campaign, you have a number of objectives that you can use to optimize the ad campaign. Two of the most common objectives is conversions or purchases or sales, and the other one is reach. Should you run a reach campaign or should you run a conversion objective campaign? This is a more common question since the release of iOS 14, where lots of privacy changes were made and it's not as easy to track the behavior of people. So in today's video, I'm going to cover exactly how you create a reach campaign from scratch. So let's get into it. Hello, you 580 odd wonderful subscribers. I really appreciate your support. My name's Rod. I'm the founder of Rod Blend Agency. We help people create, set up, optimize, and generally just do better with their Facebook and Instagram advertising campaigns. And in fact, we help people optimize their entire business so that they can produce better results. I'm an e-commerce business founder of about 18 years. That's about how long ago it was when I first founded my own business. I sold it to my competitor a couple of years ago. Spent a long time working out what works and what doesn't work, and probably made more mistakes than most. So in today's video, we're going to cover how to create a Facebook ad campaign using the reach objective. Now, I've covered how to create Facebook campaigns with the conversion objective in previous videos. I've also done a comparison of a reach versus a conversion campaign and what sort of results we've got from each one. You can see those videos in the description below. Today, we're just going to specifically show you how to create a campaign with the reach objective in both the classic ad manager interface and also with the new ODAX manager interface. So let's jump on the computer. So before we get started on the how to create the reach campaign, we just need to set up a few audiences. So I've got the audiences already created here. Essentially, the audiences that you need are so that we can set up your reach campaign with what we call warm audiences. Because reach campaigns, in my view, aren't appropriate for a cold audience. They're really only useful if you've got a relatively small warm audience of ready-made buyers or hot prospects that you want to advertise to. And ideally, the size of that audience would be at least 10,000 people. So what I usually do is I set up an audience that consists of all website visitors for the last 180 days, all of your Facebook ad and page engages over the last 365 days, which is the maximum, all of your professional Instagram account engages over the last 365 days, all of your email profiles. You can see here with this example, I'm using Klaviyo. That way you can synchronize all of your profiles from Klaviyo into your custom audience within Facebook. It doesn't matter if you're not using Klaviyo, if you're using MailChimp or any other platform for that matter, you can always synchronize those into a custom audience in Facebook using Zapier. And we also pick up all the purchases from the Facebook pixel. It's not always very useful, that audience. I find it's a lot better if you can get all of your buyers from your email list because you can go back over a number of years. So once you've got all of those warm audiences set up, then we can get stuck into actually creating the ad campaign from scratch. So let's flick over to the other tab here. The method I'm going to show you here applies to the classic Ads Manager interface, and the ODAX interface. We'll just briefly have a quick look at that because there'll be some slight differences to how you initially set it up. And then once you've done that, the procedure will be the same. This is how it looks with the classic Ads Manager interface. Just click on Create. And then we select reach. So underneath the awareness section, there's one called reach. And then we can give our campaign some names. So the standard I always use for campaign names, which I've explained in other videos, is I just put my initials in, then I put the campaign objective, and then I put the date as well. For the ad sets, I usually use P for prospecting or RE for retargeting. C if it's custom audiences, L if it's lookalike audiences, B if it's broad audiences. So we're going to be using custom audiences here. Then a description of the audience itself. So I'm going to put all warm audiences and then the date. For the ads, it's going to be a little simpler. So we just put whether it's an image or a video and the date. And then we click on continue. That brings us into the Ads Manager interface. So that's how it looks when you set it up from the classic interface. I'm now going to go to a different ad account and show you how it looks when you use the new ODAX interface. So with the ODAX interface, if we click on create, we'll see something a little different. So what we do is we go to awareness and load up the same campaign, an ad set and ad name, and then click on continue. And there's a slight difference in the setup between the ODAX and the classic manager interface. So you can see at the campaign level, you can choose your campaign objective But notice how there isn't one for reach. So you leave that as awareness. If we switch back to the classic interface, you can see we've got reach. So we're going to continue to use that. Now, if we go to the ad set level on the classic interface, we're using reach for the optimization. If we switch back to the ODAX interface and go to the ad set level, under the optimization for ad delivery, you can see it's already set to reach. So apart from that, the rest of the way that we configure it is going to be the same. So we'll go back to the classic interface. At the budget level, you want to set this really low. Around about $2 is fine, unless you've got a really large audience. If you've got around 10,000, we're going to set up 5 different ad sets, and I wouldn't have it any higher than $2. Now, underneath the audiences, this is where we're going to load in our custom audiences that we've created previously. So I'm going to use website visitors 180 days. I want to use all of my Facebook and Instagram engagers. And then I want to use everyone from my mailing list, which I've got named slightly differently here. So that's the 4 different audiences which set up my audience definition. Generally speaking, you would have something that's at least 10,000 people for this particular setup. Now, for the placement side of things, we're not going to go with automatic placements, because what Facebook is going to do is try and show this ad to as many people as it possibly can. So instead, we're going to do manual placements and deselect the audience network and deselect anything that isn't Facebook or Instagram feeds. So I'm going to get rid of the marketplace and Instagram Explore and the Facebook groups feed. I'm going to leave on the video feeds. Also, Instagram stories and Facebook stories is fine too. So we'll just turn off Reels, and we'll turn off anything in stream and search and in article as well. That will just leave us with the highest quality placements, in my view, that we can show these ads to. Now, while we're on our ad set level, we need to fix the optimization for the ad delivery. So if you click on show more options, this is where the frequency cap shows up. If you publish your ad campaign before you select this, you won't be able to go back and change it. So you need to do it before you do a publish. You can see the default frequency cap is 1 impression every 7 days. If you're running 5 different ad sets, then I would change this to be 1 impression every 5 days. So what this is saying is that they'll only see each ad once every 5 days. Theoretically, Facebook will show all 5 ads to those people over 1 day and then skip it, but it doesn't actually do that. The algorithm will automatically spread things out. So if you've got 5 ad sets and you've got this set to do 1 impression every 5 days, it's going to average out showing 1 ad per person per day in your audience. Then we go to next, and then we've got the ad itself. Now, as far as what goes in the ads, I've filled in everything I wanted to do here. So I've got some primary text, a headline, a description, the website URL. I've selected a call to action button of learn more. You may want to use shop now or something that's more appropriate to your business. I'm selecting the website events as the pixel. You may want to also include some URL parameters so that you can track things using Google Analytics or another tool like that. And then we click on publish. Now we want to have 5 different ad sets here. So what I'm going to do is go to the ad set level and select duplicate. And we're going to make 4 copies. And you can see that's now given us 5 ad sets all together. That's the ad set that we've just produced. And one of the new ones is up here. So I will put in here just so I can distinguish them. Ad set 2. And then at the ad level itself, I'm just going to change up the creative that I'm using here. To do that, I'll just go to edit and then change media. And I'm going to put in a different piece of media. You may want to change the primary text in the headline, the description, or you may just want to change the creative at the ad set level itself. You can see it's all the previous settings that you set have been copied again. So custom frequency cap of 1 impression every 5 days. So that's what you do. You go through and change your ads as you want for each particular ad set. It'll have the same audience, the same targeting, the same everything else. And once you've published, you'll then have a campaign which consists of 5 ads that are going to be shown once per 5 days. And that's how you create your rich campaign from scratch. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this isn't the only objective that you can use. There's also a conversion objective, which is arguably more popular, or at least it has been until OS 14 came out. If you want to see how the test that I've done looks and what sort of results we've produced in the real world, there'll be a link to that video in the description. You might be surprised by the results that you see there. So you definitely want to check that out. In any case, I think it's something that's worth testing, whether you've got an e-commerce business or you're generating leads or generating appointments for your service business. And hopefully now you've got a better understanding of how to put that campaign together. So that's it for this video. If you did jump ahead to this part, we've just covered how to create a Facebook ad campaign with the reach objective from scratch. We do have other videos in the channel that shows the comparison between a reach objective and a conversion objective. Also how to create the conversion objective campaign from scratch. Hopefully you found this video useful. And if you did, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. And if you do need some help with getting your Facebook and Instagram campaigns humming along, or if you want to get started from scratch and you'd like to have a chat with somebody about that, then there'll be a link in the video description where you can click on that, book a time in my calendar, and we're going to have a chat about your business, what you do, what we do, and how it works. There's absolutely no obligation, and who knows, we may end up working together. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, that's all for this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.